feet less. 5 feet less. Almost got the same spot.
Yeah, they just sweep everything. But it's definitely a little quicker over there right now. Kind of spread ours around a bit.
What's all web dogs thinking?
Well, their side's already up to 5. They throw 8 in front something like that. Yeah.
It'll be good by the time we trip the drop.
Yeah, you see what it is.
We'll do it.
We'll go for now.
Should be a hair light. Is he intentionally doing that? Or is he in the edge of the 8-foot?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I think that was.
Only one thing in the round.
Did he try to do that? Or was that me?
We thought you were a little narrow. Okay. But it wasn't enough ice anyway.
Okay, I actually think we need a broom, even maybe 2 more than that.
I like that.
Come see, just give me a little bit more.
Just a hair down the line.
Yeah.
We're not even close to it yet. Good preset. There we go.
That's not a 3 set. That's a 4.5 set.
Right over that K is going to be close.
That look good?
Yeah, it's definitely going to pop through every rock right down the same path.
Yeah, he's sliding a bit here.
Yeah. It's a little drifty, but it's all right. He's still farting. Good throw.
You see how he's just sliding a bit narrow.
Okay, well, I got him a 4.5 set.
You would agree, I think. I think he's
Okay.
like the moment. You just go back. Yeah. Tire lineman lying on that, so.
That's alright. It's like, no,
That's getting a lot quicker.
15 on their side.
15 on their side. Well, he's
I think that's minimum ice for us, but you can throw one just to test it up.
Yeah. 14?
Yeah. Sure.
Probably get that one. Right over the cage. It's close.
Cops thought that was a little wide there. I think that's pretty good. I think it's a good burn. It's 15 down, so right close to 14 off already.
Over the K and one Coyote?
Yeah.
Where were we there on the eye?
No, we were just on the outside of the cage. We're right over it your lap.
Everything on this bit.
It won't matter anyways. I'm throwing all out turns this game. Oh, fuck. I'm 1-7.
He's doing merge, I guess.
You're here. You throw mine.
bun today. The long hair don't care didn't work. Let's tuck that shit up there. Nice. Yeah. Right. Sweet. Yeah, absolutely. You're not getting the 20 grand a week that the real commentators get? 20 grand a year? Yeah, it could be good, right? Make it so they can't afford not to hire you back. No. Yeah, what was their first raise? 5 million US? Pretty good. 5 million US goes a long way in Canada. The most impressive thing is the board that he put together.
We had 14-2 on Ross's last night cover.
I gotcha.
Line's good. Same line.
Loud and clear, ready to go here.
You got touch now.
We're safe to call Team Whyte the best team ever to never play in a world championship.
They got to be right up there.
It's a great moniker to have.
Yeah.
The best golfer to never win a slam.
That's one you want to get rid of as soon as possible, but it's technically a compliment.
It's not really in their control either.
Yeah. I'm not sure what else they could have done
last year.
I mean, I think that's probably a better way to put it. I don't think there's any team that's ever done more to get to a Worlds and didn't.
Right?
What more could you ask for them? What could they have done?
I'm not sure.
They
won the Scottish. They won a million events. Yeah. They did well in the slams.
I've been awfully frustrated with some speed bumps in my curling career, but that would be a tough one to swallow.
That's a big one.
We beat the team going. We won the nationals. We won pretty much everything. What were they, ranked third in the world, I think? Third or fourth?
Yeah. I think they're still top 5.
Yeah. Check that quick. They are 5th. Yep.
That's a turkey. Triangulate that. Oh, they don't throw again. They wait. That's interesting. I thought we used to throw right away.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah. I mean, not that I ever covered the button, but I saw other people do it.
I think Mark still owes me a beer from
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We looked across the sheets like, hey, you in? Yeah, all right.
Should have waited for the run back competition. This is not
How hard
good,
do I have to
boys.
throw it?
Slow it
can
down,
I make
Brett.
it with firm?
Slow it down, Brett. Can't slow that one down. That's too far.
You took the under. Live for the morning draw here from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, the Grand Slam of Curling Hearing Life Tour Challenge, brought to you by Home Team Live. We're at the Bell Alliance Center, 16 men's teams and 16 women's teams vying to become the Tour Challenge Tier 1 champion. Tyler George joined here this morning in the booth by 3-time world champion, 16-time Grand Slam champion Brent Lang. Our feature matchup will be Brad Jacobs and Ross Whyte. Brent, obviously Team Jacobs you're very familiar with. Team Whyte has kind of taken Tour by storm over the last few years, ranked number 5 in the world. Both these teams, good start to the season, looking to improve on that now.
Yeah, interested in this matchup. I mean, as you said, Team Whyte really on the rise, which is hard to say because they are still rising and they're in the top 5 in the world already. Wondering what they have to do in the world of curling to get to a world championship. Feeling a little bit like, you know, maybe Mike McEwen growing up in Manitoba back in the day, can't get to the Brier kind of thing, but worse than that because they won the Scottish Championship last year and still didn't get to represent Scotland at the World Championship. But obviously well, not obviously, hopefully their time will come because there are a couple other really good teams coming out of Scotland. One of them right next to them, James Craig taking on the legend of the game from the U.S., John Schuster. Got to think that at least he gets the moniker of best U.S. curler of all time with his crazy track record at Worlds and the Olympics. And we've got Team Switzerland Brunner over there versus Carruthers, and then another Scottish guy knocking at the door, Cameron Bryce, playing against Yannick Schwaller. Schwaller not used to finding themselves in B this early in an event, but the old veteran Kevin Cooey took him down yesterday, so there they are, B. Still 3 wins away from qualifying. That's the farthest you can get away from qualifying. Every win gets you one closer. But we're still in the A event here, and got to be the marquee matchup here. Team Jacobs, Team Whyte. I don't know what to expect. Yesterday was a wild day, Tyler.
Yeah, 4 Scottish teams in the 16-team field. Very impressive showing from that country, and tells you exactly how difficult it is to represent Scotland at the World Championships. Team Whyte will be battling to get that opportunity yet again this year, and we will take a look at the lineup shortly here. But yeah, obviously a well-known Team Jacobs squad. I feel like year to year they're all the mix and match. You got to pay close attention to see who's on what team anymore. But 4 names that you definitely know with Brad's team, and for Team Whyte, making their names known and not sneaking up on anybody anymore. Team Jacobs have been taking this game very seriously, obviously, this morning.
As you said, lots of changes. I mean, Ben and Mark aren't getting any younger, so their quickness to cut has increased. The speed has increased over the years. They learned from, Kevin Martin, and it was, hey, you can't blame them. Perform or piss off. It's kind of their motto. But 2 of the best players through my whole career, and here they are still going while I'm stuck in the plastic seat here up behind the glass.
It's a pretty good spot. We have a great view this morning right behind Sheet D to watch this feature matchup. Again, both teams 1-0, needing 2 more wins to qualify A side here in this triple knockout tournament. Brent, we both agreed on the way over here this morning too, this is our favorite format for a slam. just because you don't have to worry about anything anybody else is doing. Just win 3 before you lose 3, and you qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's simple, right? You know that everybody you play against has the same record. You're in the same boat, and at the end of the day, you win your last game, you're still going. You lose, you're out. It doesn't get any better than that as far as I'm concerned.
And Hebert throwing his first to a mostly tight center. And Brent, we'd seen that as opposed to when we called Schuster and Jacobs yesterday on sheet A, where coming off the wall side of the sheet on the end sheet, it was straighter. On this sheet, we've seen more curl actually coming off the wall side. So I'm not sure if it's just a slant in the entire arena going that direction, but usually you see less curl coming off the wall, so a little unusual for sheet D and what we've seen consistently.
Yeah, it's also unusual to see Ben hit the center line so far this week, but no, that center line over there looked difficult to hit. It was almost like it was peaked. It was hard to get there, and once you got there, it kind of fell off. So.
I'm going to give you guys about 6 feet more here. Yep, lock it on. That's top 4 foot.
Draw to the back of the button by Ewan Kyle. His first shot of this game. Hebert back in his comfort zone with 2 out turns to start off this matchup.
Room if you can. Easy. Line's good.
Ross Whyte put it right on the button. Our youngest daughter would call that a straight-up turkey. She loves that saying.
Might have to steal that one.
And Jacob's a little bit heavy. Even the crafty veteran Brett Gallant couldn't slow that one down enough.
Okay, Ben, good throw. Good sweep, guys.
Right to the top of the 4s. Little hop in Benny's step this morning. One of those guys that the team goes as they go energy-wise, no question.
Yeah, he was always, our old coach used to call him the fuel for the team, and for better or worse, whether that fuel powered us or made us blow up, that's what his job was.
Kyle's second here, playing the intern once again. Both teams piling rocks up in the center of the sheet early on. In with 5-rock no-tick zone and 5-rock 3-guard zone rule. That rock will have to remain touching the center line for 1 more shot.
Okay. What do you think it is like now, guys? Like,
I was trying to throw about a 14-second on my draw.
okay.
I think you're going to hear a lot of chatter about the speed. Yesterday it was, we'll call it challenging. There was a lot of chatter, a lot of missed draws. So whoever picks up on draw weight fastest usually wins the games.
Go through the lineups for you as well. 4-team Jacobs lead Ben Hebert. Second, Brett Gallant. Third, Mark Kennedy. And skip Brad Jacobs. They're at 14 for this starting hog-to-hog rate they're expecting. So at least a half-second slower than what we saw starting the games yesterday, but not unusual at all, Brent, for the morning draw, too.
No, we usually see it the straightest and the fastest in the morning. The building's the coldest, and I don't know if anybody else noticed Benny's reaction there. Great shot, Brett. Expletive. Walk away, trying to sell it to the other team. I'm not sure what he's up to, but he thought he liked it, or he was lying to Brett.
Let's play that then. You got it anyway.
And on the flip side for Team Whyte, skip Ross Whyte. Third, Robin Bryden. Second, Duncan McFadden. Lead, Ewan Kyle. Again, the number 5 ranked team in the world.
No, just freeze. Just freeze, oh, sorry. 15 then. Okay, so 14.
Would not want to be in any type of Scotland qualifier going forward.
Right? Or
Just
arm
a
wrestle.
meat grinder.
Yeah.
In-turn draw, another freeze attempt from McFadden.
Clean, yep.
Might see some granite move if this one's made, I think, Brent. Maybe try to open things up for Team Jacobs.
Yeah, good job, done. Nice.
I really like it. I'd rather be yellow at the moment, but did bump it a little bit too far, I would say. Chance for Brett to nose this one.
Board. Yeah.
Time to clear some stones, but not going to overthrow this. Like to keep the shooter around.
A little stiff in here.
It's going to be a little stiff.
This is kind of that in-between track too, Brent. You hear the players talking about it. They're well aware.
Yeah, you will.
I've seen so many shots missed light and narrow on these paths, especially in the first few ends of the game.
Well, the teams talked about it a lot yesterday, but nobody really did anything about it.
This is what's happening, and we're going to continue to do it.
Wade's good.
Wade's good. Clean. Move down, Mark. Yep. Clean.
Pretty hard to fool a team that's average age is, higher than most, as much as Brett's still a young guy and one of the veteran teams out here.
Got a really good shot there by Brett, and good conversation from the entire team, talking exactly about what they expected that track to do. And Brent, those types of things early in these games can make such a huge difference in getting out in front, not chasing, getting rock position.
Yeah, against the top teams, which these are two of the best teams in the world, the last thing you want to do is get in a big hole early. But it's probably the easiest thing to do. That's why that draw to the button is so important. Even if things go awry, at least you have that last rock to maybe save a point. Still a really good opportunity here for Team Bryce.
10. Yeah. 10.
They can hit this one fairly thickly, stay in the rings really anywhere, and move those reds around. I don't think that Team Jacobs is going to be happy with how this looks next.
A pretty good position now for Team Whyte.
Looks like all three of them go, eh?
Pretty close to a triple, Mark.
Hit the crotch, yeah.
You just grazed the left one.
Yeah, it's a little thin on the...
Yeah, it has to
He's in the middle first, yeah. So you can see a little more than what it looks like. Here?
I agree. It's like,
Even a little thinner than that.
It's just missing it.
Kennedy thinks he can get them all going here. Mark Kennedy, 2010 Olympic champion.
I love that, Mark.
2018, fourth place. Probably his proudest moment, I think, if you asked him.
Playoff competitor.
Yeah. 0 for 2 in Pyeongchang, the playoffs.
High hard one from Mark, playing the out turn for the left-hander.
Sounds close.
Just whiskers over the top. They talked about Brent hitting the middle one first.
Didn't quite make that happen, but couldn't afford to hit the guard. That's still a much better situation.
Just one lonely yellow stone in there now on third stones, and first stone for Robin Brido. Appreciate his appearance at House of Hearts as well, spending $500 on a $20 windbreaker that I was wearing.
Nice.
For the kids.
You must have made it look good.
Well, there may have been some performance enhancers involved for that evening. When you live auction anything, it seems like it's important, right?
He was drinking convincers, was he? That needs to stay inside that wide one.
Okay.
I think it does. I'm not sure. If that's not out counting that wide red one, that's a big miss. Oh, they like it. Or they're good salesmen. Either way.
I'm not sure.
Making Brad have a look.
It's the yellow. It's an all or nothing. Freeze is probably the shot.
Yeah, they've played this pot of pot.
Okay, so I got 14-4 on their last one.
It might not even been him that bought it. Who knows at this point?
So it's
Right?
like a 14.75 here to the team.
Bottom line is you
all
got
a blur.
$500 for a great
It's
cause.
all a blur. Who knows?
Lock it in there, guys. Yep.
Big shot for Mark, front end or first end, and a lot of chatter about the speed. But if he can lock this on there, the end totally flips on its head and goes from a likely multiple to a likely force at worst.
Line's good. Lead's good. Clean. Line's easy. Hair heavy.
Mark going from peel to draw here in the first.
Line's good. Clean. Couple inches above. Line's good. Right here. Weight's good. Line's good. Line is
Jacobs
good.
loves the line.
Right here, boys. Weight's good.
Really starting to cut now.
Clean. Line's great. Yep. We're bouncing a little. Okay, pretty good. Good judge, guys.
A lot of energy from Team Jacobs this morning, Brent. A lot of chatter, a lot of yapping in a good way.
They need the A qualify. They need the time off. Benny's shoulder looks sore. There's never a lack of intensity on this team. That's one thing you can count on. So trying to clean this up. Rob being asked for the triple on the Reds, maybe the quad even, just for extra points.
Ryder trying to run this Red back, see how many he can lose. A little on the high side. Ooh, just sticks it in. That's a real bad result.
Disaster.
Great angles now for Team Jacobs. Good opportunity to go for steal.
It's either that or you're trying to get in here again.
Yeah.
I think I like that, where they're angled, huh?
Those are the two options.
First end, I'm kind of feeling the guard.
Me too.
Yeah, first end, I think
Okay,
that's
so let's pick our
probably wise.
Right here, Mark.
Is it draw to button speed here?
Is that that's just higher than the pin?
I just think
I
it's
think
draw
the
to button
freeze
speed.
would allow them to lie
This
too,
is
though, if you kept it a hair high.
Yeah,
My concern is that red one that's wide open is the next one.
You guys like the
run
guard?
it in.
But Team White's going to hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
we're
think
going out
if you
just
came
get
in with that freeze and just moved your red to frozen on the yellow, it'd still be awfully risky to play that red in the top 12's in.
For sure.
side is yellow or just past it's great.
Red a little more cautious in the first, just playing the guard, and likely see that same draw played by Ross Whyte.
Ross might start to think, how do we just give them the steal here? Because this is looking highly likely like a steal.
Weight's good.
2014 Olympic champion in Sochi with outturned guard.
Always Brett.
3, 4. Can you hit it a bit?
The
Hit it a bit.
second biggest miracle Olympic gold medal I ever saw.
Line's good now.
They did start, I think, 1 and 2, or maybe even 1 and 3. They didn't start the way they wanted to, and then they rattled off a whole bunch in a row and
Okay, good spot.
Very good.
did what Canada used to be able to do and won the Olympic gold medal.
I think he beat Mr. Murdoch in the
Did.
final.
Yeah, true story.
Might be the best spot. Took away,
Dave and the boys played a little bit like they were happy to be in the final.
I'm thinking that too after watching that game.
Bradsky, Cupsy, whatever the fuck your name is.
Yeah, right? Finally, Mark, get on the board.
He's got a long ways to go to catch up after the first draw.
He's getting older and angrier. He'll be there. He's the quiet. Everybody thinks he's the nice guy. Benny's just more outspoken, but they're very similar. Mark would love that I said that. You can see big trouble here for Ross and the fellas. I don't even know what you do here.
Yeah, that guard overcurled a little, but not enough to leave that red in. So I think he doesn't have much choice but to just lob it in and probably give one.
Yeah. Nothing better as a skip. You come down here. Thanks, fellas. What do you want me to do? Draw the side of the button here to hold him to one?
In the first end here?
Yeah. Thanks.
So
Kevin Martin used to have some great. He was the best in these situations. He'd look around, look at the players. Any ideas? As if to say, hey, you guys really steward me here, so I'm going to make sure you know it. So hopefully you don't do it again.
He'd do it on the flip side, too. The first time I ever played against him, he's just drilling us. And we're down 2 without. Finally get an end going. He looks at me, and I think it was meant to be a little pat on the head. He says, oh, you really got us in a pickle here, Ty. You really got us going. And he tripped over the backboards and fell down.
Oh, Karma Police got him.
And then he looked at me, expecting me to pick him up. Like that wasn't going to be a Sports Center not top 10 when I tumble on top of him.
Need a few guys to pick up the old bear.
Yeah.
Built a bit like a linebacker.
That one comes up woefully short, but does cover up the draw path.
Like that's flirting with giving up a big steal.
Yeah, I
We're
don't.
trying to make something easier.
Yeah, I don't love that.
What's he right here? I don't want to take too much time, but like that's risky.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
risky.
He's not playing that. The
No
only thing he has
chance
to
he's
draw.
playing that.
No.
He's playing the draw probably.
That's why he played the draw, boys. He's willing to give you one, so just get down there and throw the rock and take your steal.
On the W, just so you don't line up any angle.
The chalk pick for first broom slam on the board is a winner. Goes to Colin Huffman over on sheet C.
Nice.
Taking away the draw. We want to be out there.
I was going to say, yeah, it's going to...
We really got to make a big board with this thing.
We need a ticker.
It's going to be a long season.
At least 6 feet slower.
We're gonna need it's gonna need to have a lot of room for ticks.
3 guard.
Give us 6 feet more
Starting
than
to
the
see
last.
who the fireballs are out there. I mean, we kind of had an idea, but I didn't know Colin's such a nice, calm guy off the ice.
He's a great guy. He gets mad at himself. He's never going to do it to anybody else.
Oh, hey, then.
He's a good teammate.
I always thought, do whatever you want in your shots, but when I miss, you better not say a goddamn thing.
Line's a little tight on the corner. If it stops here, you're good.
It doesn't. I don't think they're playing anything here anyway. Do you, Tyler?
No, they're just taking that draw path away just in case they could maybe walk it in sideways. There shouldn't really be anything there now.
Surprised Ross is even still down there.
He got inside the guard just in case they thought maybe he play something in, but I don't think that was ever happening. I think you're kind of just wasting your clock right now.
I agree.
Unless you're throwing a practice shot, but
It's not easier, is it?
Holy. I don't see yellow scoring here, so let's get this over with, fellas, and go to the next end.
it's a long day, boys.
Either that, just throw it, just slide high and kind of help it. If it's on the card, it might just
Either
get
way, what do you want?
You're gonna try to walk this down sideways just to see, which is fine, but probably knew that 3 minutes ago that that's the only
It's kind of my thing.
possible shot, even though it's not.
I would have just thrown the normal here.
Talked about the wide
Really soft or
hook, or you're going with the spinner.
Spending an awful lot of time talking about it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
softer than ever going sideways to that top red.
But maybe, I don't, these guys are pretty fast normally, I think, but still. This is going to be a 1-0 lead for Team Jacobs unless we get a Nick Eden type shot. Oh, yeah.
He is throwing the spinner. All right.
That is
I was actually on the call for that game.
dead short, I would say.
Yep.
Spinners go a long way, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't worry.
Pretty fucking close with the weight.
I don't know what he said in Scottish, but in Canada, that's a swear word.
It's pretty fucking close.
Spelled with an O instead of a U, I
In
believe.
case you missed it the first time, he's going to say it again. Look at that thing. It's almost curling off the sheet.
So it would go sideways. You got that.
Weight
It
was
is a
perfect.
steal of one for Team Jacobs here in the first end of our feature matchup. 8:30 morning draw here in Charlottetown.
Good night, guys. Yeah, good shot. Good shots, Gretzky.
So the circus shot spinner attempt by Ross Whyte on his last first end of our feature game. Dead T weight, but only about 2 feet off on line. I always like seeing those tried anyways, but Tyler George here with
Wait close.
Brent Lang. And Brent, we remarked they certainly burned a lot of clock in talking about that particular shot. Hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt them later in the game. But as you said, Team Whyte does tend to play with some pretty good pace normally.
I'm starting to think that spinner is pretty easy. I mean, the last couple guys to throw it have made it perfect weight. I've tried it a couple times, and I'm not very good at it, but it's interesting to see that almost become. It's not the first time guys are trying it anymore, that's for sure.
I don't think I saw that particular type of shot attempted in a 10-year span, and now I feel like we've seen it a dozen times in the last 3 years.
Nick makes one of the best shots you'll ever see, and now everybody thinks they can do it.
Yeah, that was myself and Sander Rolveg on the World Curling call for that. It's the only game we had ever called together to that point. And the vibe in the arena was when he slid out of the hack, the fans were laughing.
I bet.
Because they thought it was a show. And ended up being the greatest shot any of us have ever seen. We've gone into however many reasons that's the case. Enough times we don't need to revisit it, but Ebert, after making another perfect center guard, coming around on the outturn side.
Come on, boys. Come on. Come on. Good sweep, guys. Really good.
Good sweep, guys. Good boy, man.
Really good.
It's the biting top 8 foot. Pretty heavy scrubs from Gallant and Kennedy early in this game. You heard him. First rock of the game. That's a good wake-up call.
You know, played with Ben for 4 years, and you know what you never do to Ben's rocks? You never just slide beside him and watch him. Which you gotta love. He loves to keep the team involved, and as a lead, you can't be heavy. So.
Wait's close.
After the corner guard by you and Kyle, that one thought maybe something got underneath it. Was looking behind him at the ice, and Team Jacobs cleaning the path heavily after that. So pretty good chance maybe that caught something.
You can see Brad's call here, but
T-line?
yeah, going around everything, and then you're going to see the runner.
If I
And
throw similar speed to last time, I think you're in the ballpark.
I hate making predictions after going 0 for 27 yesterday, but
1 for 27.
Did I get one?
You got one, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I think it was an open draw to the 8 foot for 1.
Okay,
But you
perfect.
predicted it 3 shots ahead of time.
This looks like a blank to me,
T-line? Think you're good.
but
Yeah, that would not be a surprise, even for those looking at these stones and saying there's 3 guards in play and 2 in the house after this. You might think the blank is unlikely, but with the setup the way it is, Brent's alluding to the fact that it's unlikely that Team Whyte will try to score with Hammer in this end with this setup and bail immediately, and that is exactly what they do. So I'm giving you a number 2 on that now, Brent. That's a winner.
okay. Well, we'll see. Probably a steal of 2 for Jacobs. Sounds close.
That'll do.
That's pretty close.
I lash away from all 3 going, but great result there. Nice shot from Duncan.
I want to change my vote. Can I get a take back?
Yeah, it's the morning draw.
I think it's 2 for Whyte now.
2 for Whyte, all right. Yeah, the guard did roll off the center line of hair as well.
He was keeping that shooter and opening up the 4 foot for sure.
You want like how about like no less? Like just you know like
Hometown hero Brett Gallant,
I like that plan.
future premier of PEI, no doubt, if he wants it. I mean, he does live in Calgary, which complicates things, but
Yeah, he's going to have to bring Robbie Doherty on as chief of staff, I
Right.
think. Robbie has been all over the place in this building this week. He lives about the proverbial stone's throw away down the road. And he's been the host with the most for everyone. He's an excitable guy under normal circumstances,
Yeah.
but he's got the nickel in him this week.
That's 14.
as he should.
We're back there.
You're right off.
It's not curling because you threw it too hard.
Okay, Brett.
Okay,
Hey, Brett.
not
Be a little
okay,
slower
but
too, eh?
Yeah,
14.
that's kind of what we guessed.
yeah, a good conversation there.
I think your audible was probably a good one at this point, too.
The deuce is looking very likely now.
He was 14, so I think you're like almost high 14s.
Yeah, such an important shot by McFadden with that run in to open up the 4 foot. Completely turns this end on its head. And then 1/2 miss back from Gallant going to the back of the 12 foot. It's green light special now for Team Whyte. There's McFadden's second, now playing the draw after the run.
We're talking like this is getting faster here. Like, it sounded like Brett threw exactly what the fellas were guessing, and it is an educated guess this early in the game, but I got a 15 on that one, as much as my fingers work, but
The boys were talking about 14 in the first, too, so
a little faster in the morning. Usually a little faster, a little straighter. Not enough time for the frost to build up in the rings in the morning draw, but From where I'm sitting, this chase sure does look hard.
Yeah. Get the weight right, I think. And
He
Can't
got by that
see a
guard
lot
by
of that
2
stone,
rounds,
but-
so we can manage it. I think in here, it's not going to be quite as fast as mine. It's not going to be 15 in this path.
That's the hardest part for sure.
Yep.
Really talking about the track and
Yep.
Gallant
We'll manage it.
feeling that this is a little inside the track that he threw for his draw, so they don't expect it to be quite as fast. Mark's going to try to find a middle in there somewhere.
Clean.
It's good.
Clean, yep.
Prove down.
It's good.
Prove down.
Gallant on this one hard. Line looks good.
Making it look easy. That was a tough shot.
And Mark is good as anybody yet. He's in between. Perfectly done. Great shot by Kennedy. Even a little broom raised from Mark.
Oh, giving himself the pat on the back.
Yeah.
That's the famous mixed doubles move. You throw it, you get up, you sweep it the whole way, you turn and say, great shot. Right?
That's really good.
I mean, I don't get to do that often because I'm the guy throwing it, but
I didn't
it is a
make
move.
enough shots to do that when I
Right.
played doubles.
10-7. Clean.
More like, nice try. Who threw that?
Well, you made me sweep that like that hard. Who the hell threw that one? Must be that George guy. Jeez, he's brutal. Nice soft weight hit and roll over to
Hello.
near freeze by Robin Bridle. That's a dandy.
Kind of saw it a wee bit just at the end.
Love how calm Ross is calling the line, right? I mean, everybody has their personality and everything else, but that was a super precise shot.
You want to be right down on him.
And his voice never really got over a conversation in a hotel room.
Like that's probably T-line, and I think it gets there. Yeah.
We saw that little from the Italian women yesterday as well.
Absolutely.
The
Walk
perfect
away, it's
short
perfect.
run in, and oh, they must have missed this one bad. There's no chatter at all. And
But nobody walks away from an important shot, quite like Matt Hamilton and Colin Huffman against the draw for 3. I'm sure they had a conversation last night. I know Schusty has mellowed, but he didn't forget about that one.
yeah, that's one you have to address, no question. Doesn't
So
matter
guys,
who it is.
Like, what's your job on that shot again? 15 back 4. So this is faster than we saw yesterday, no doubt.
Pretty good result there from Mark.
Sorry, guys. Lost the line.
Over curls just a touch, but probably buried to the point that I don't think they're moving that stone.
That is lost in there.
I was 14-7 on there. I was about
Taking a tighter line, so just watch.
I'm pretty close to 14-7. That's almost your number.
We're just taking a tighter line, so just watch this. It's not going to
Good.
Wonder why they're taking a tighter line. I think they're counting on the old Scottish slide a shade inside the broom and set it back to the broom. It'll track a little longer, but Mark's rocks hold, so I'd be worried about taking less ice here.
I agree on that.
Back 12 just now.
Oh,
This is one you can be a little on the full side and still have a good angle to that back stone.
It's good now.
Don't have to get close to the guard at all.
this is curling.
Top block.
Yeah, they went for the tighter line, and see if they can get it there. You got to get shot here.
It really needs to be
Gonna
shot, but
happen.
not going to get there.
He did say it is, but then they thought it was going to be way too much anyway. No problem. Sorry.
What does he got in that yellow?
Nothing.
Third. Yeah.
What's less than
I
zero?
mean, if we don't come in here somewhere,
On
he
the
is,
wide
right?
side, I guess.
Just trying to think of what's our best spot.
Right there is their best spot.
It's always got something here.
Best spot's almost like there.
Yeah.
I don't think you
If
can
you
guard
could
Benny as
almost
much
be
as that
here.
crossed my mind too.
Let's not get too picky, but like.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
I think you better get pretty picky here.
Good speed here.
It's a good opportunity, but if he can see a third through that hole, it kind of has to get around that one top 8 and be right on almost on the tee line. If this is top 4 or just buried, he's going to be able to play that yellow one and get shot rock and open up the back one.
Yeah. Okay. So Mark had 15 on theirs. I had. Yeah.
Hear that constant conversation about speed and line here from Team Jacobs.
Okay.
Throw T-line.
How does this slide probably feels nice and quick now too, eh?
Yeah.
That's good, Cupsy.
You want this to be top 4, guys?
Yes, top 4.
Yep.
Tuck a piece around that yellow.
Yep. Okay, you got it.
Definitely wants to get around that yellow. Can't hang it out and leave that double. It'll be, if this doesn't get buried, there'll be a double to lie 2, maybe 3.
A little heavy.
Okay, I think so.
Little heavy.
You can wait.
You got room.
You can wait,
Back
Brad.
button. Okay, a little bit of room.
This is tracking like it's real
How
heavy.
deep? Back button. Okay. Benny. Hard Benny.
Oh,
Back
And he
4.
trying to
Touch this one.
turn her over
slow
and
carve dump.
yeah,
Right beside.
don't want to be right next to it.
Okay, not bad.
That's well called there. Good adjustment to make sure that
Just moved it back where it was.
didn't leave anything to remove both reds, cornered on the high side.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Doesn't leave this, does it?
It's pretty tough. This spins off, and you might have, if he stuffs this one, this spins off, you have a shot too.
T-line.
Yep.
Edge of button.
Quick spin around the rings, the other games.
That looks close.
Yannick
That's
Schwaller with a 1-0 lead over Cameron Bryce. Runner leads Carruthers 2-0 after
Can you
one.
peg them? No, it's off the back. Like you've got
Schuster
to
with a
jump
2 in the
that
second, goes up 2-1 after 2 ends. Flying over on sheet C over Craig. In our feature matchup, Brad Jacobs and Ross
Can we
Whyte.
bring those reds?
Brad with the steal in the first,
Do the reds
leading
go? We'll hit
1-0.
it.
If you hit what you see, yeah.
I've gone. Dead and third.
He thinks maybe he can get both these moving here, Brad.
It's just a hard shot.
Yeah, no,
If you hit what you see, it definitely goes ahead. Thinner, it should spin, but I don't know how far.
I feel like we've got more chance of putting this in a
Well,
good spot and trying to score
I
2.
think, yeah, the
Yeah, I was just
The
wondering.
draw is the play here.
I know, but I'm telling you, it's an easier shot right now than me throwing a random shot down here. And if I ever catch that top one he puts with it, I'm going to have to follow the button anyway.
Yeah, you have to worry about what you're going to be looking at on your last if you don't make that shot through the hole, too.
absolutely.
You got a wide open draw with still a decent chance to get a 2 with a good draw.
We call it a new path.
It's a touch more
Love what Ross said, a random shot.
Random.
I'm pretty good, guys. Like, I'll throw it good, but we have no idea what it's going to do anyway. So let's play the shot we know.
We're playing an 8:30 morning game. We're in the second end. We have a draw path. We absolutely know what it does.
This one you might want to stay a shade open.
Okay, line's good. Line's good.
Yeah, I don't think you want to bury
Line's
completely.
close. Line's good.
Clean.
Back 4, stop.
Back
Back 4 is too far.
Yep. T-line. Yep.
Line's getting a little tight now, too.
Line on line.
High line.
T-line.
Wow,
Back button.
wow.
This is heavy.
And there won't be any coming through that hole to play those 2 reds on the last now either.
So this is your line on your last one. With this, I'm totally okay with a little less.
Just yeah, little.
That good?
I don't think you want to change the line here much, Marcus. Like, you see where his red one is. That's kind of the line you want to be on. If you're a little lighter, it tends to curl a little more, so.
Yeah, with the weight they had for that previous shot, I don't think I'd move that broom at all.
These Scottish guys throwing it, they do throw it a little straighter, a little bit more tight with more back than most. They do it on purpose, and they do it all the time, so. Cups does throw a straighter out turn than most, too. But I just hate changing the speed path.
Out turn freeze attempt for Brad Jacobs. His last here in the second end.
This is an automatic force most times, but
Little bit of room.
Line's good.
Top 4.
Line's good.
Line's good.
Line's good. You can. Line's good.
Line's good. Room. Sweet's close. Room, guys.
Curl.
Room.
Curl.
Little bit of room after the early sweep.
Wait, perfect mark.
Right here.
Turning over now. See Gallant trying to knife it over.
Hard Brad. Go, 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 go,
gonna leave him a shot here, I think, on that yellow.
Yeah, might have some room.
Sorry,
No
buddy.
matter how much weight can they play to get that stone moving. It looks like they have 3/4.
I know, that's one thing where if you can throw like more weight than you think, just in terms of like trying to shift it.
Throw more weight than you think. How does he know what Ross thinks?
How does he know how much weight he's
That's always
playing?
my favorite. You got to throw it harder than you think. It's like, how do you, I think I'm throwing it pretty hard.
This is there.
That reminds me of the planes, trains, and automobiles line. You're going the wrong way. How the hell does he know where we're going?
I think you need the 11.5 to get it out. I think it will move in here.
Danger here is you need enough weight to get it to move.
Right.
And the miss here is a steal.
No. I think you can hit this 3/4 high. It goes out of there.
Get right to the
11.5.
Just call
Yeah,
for a
I
normal
don't think
shot.
there's a 1 here for Brydon. I think this is, or for Whyte, it's either a 2 or a steal.
I would agree with that. It's hard to score 1.
11.5. Yep. 12, maybe just about makes it. Yep.
For 12, I don't think you might need a little more than that even.
Yeah, the shot's there.
11-5 to make sure that thing gets moving. We'll see what kind of action it gets with the live bands. Ross Whyte's last here in the second end. Soft weight hit, trying to get that redstone out of the 4-foot. 4-2.
Yard's not really the problem. It's that top 8
Top
yellow
8.
one that's the...
11 toes. Please. Yep. Yep. Well. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Real close here.
Whoa. Carl.
Trying to get it to turn over and finish.
Get out of there. Go.
Just for fun. Oh, just dead there.
Didn't get the action off they expected, but they still think 2. Mark's calling for the measure, so 1 for sure for Whyte. And was not expecting a 1 again, but I might be 0 for 1 for the day, depending on this measure. But we got to call the measure as well.
If you're live betting at home, folks, whatever we say, just bet the opposite. You're going to be able to retire tomorrow.
I'm going to take yellow on this measure. We'll keep a counter on that for the week, too.
You are, yeah. I thought
I'm going to take
heard
yellow.
Robin say in a different language that it was not that.
Oh,
Keep an eye on that Ken Cat there. He's been around the block. He knows how to measure.
just 1 it is.
See?
So I'm wrong twice in 2 minutes there. Is a single for Team Whyte. Score tied 1-1 after 2 ends of play.
We're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game.
A single from Ross Whyte in the second end on a measure for a second point. Ends up 1-1 here in the third end. HearingLife Tour Challenge Tier 1 here in Charlottetown, PEI. Tyler George with 3-time world champion Brent Lang. Brett, as you said, if you're fading us and our calls in the booth,
right?
You're running all the way to Vegas right now.
All that easy money.
Like I think 14-5 is our number on
That's what
this
we're
side.
here for, folks.
14-3, 2.
Be wrong and make you money. Nice start there. Doing Kyle. Tight guard right on the center line.
Wait's good.
3 ends in a row, Brent. We've seen the team without a hammer start with center guard. Nobody afraid to mix it up in this game.
We don't see a lot of, I mean, this is our second time calling Team Jacobs. We're not seeing a lot of corner guards out of these guys, but 1-1 game, third end. I think they do play a little bit, even this early, even odds. But somebody asked yesterday, Tyler, when we talk a lot about high side, low side.
10.
And when we're talking about high side, that's hitting it on the side. You're kind of starting from the under curl side.
We call it the broom side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's simple. See, smarter than me as always. That's way simpler than what I was going to come up with.
I actually,
it's going to take me a lot longer.
I can't even take credit for that. We had this exact conversation. I stayed in Toronto on Sunday night with Brian Chick, and he was talking about how he was doing commentary, and somebody asked that exact question. His play-by-play guy did, and he couldn't think of how to explain it.
Broomside.
Yeah, and he finally figured out broomside after about 3 minutes of thinking about it.
That's way easier.
So
I had this 9-minute speech prepared, and I was going to nail it.
I stole it from Brian. I can't take credit.
Okay, well, credit to Brian. Broomside, under curl side is the high side.
Yeah. So, simple terms for those wondering. If the broom is being held on a certain side of the stone, then that is the high side of the rock. And I never would have thought of it that way until he said it. So.
I would still be talking about some other BS.
Yeah. That's what he did. Every time. But when we were in the car, after the fact, then he could tell me that.
Talking about Benny's rock there. Brett's not convinced. He said he was light and slid away. And Brad said every time it's over curling. See if you can hear him, but their mics are probably off by now. I thought Benny had a curler yesterday, and then Brett had a straight one, which was a terrible combination to watch coming down one after the other.
Back-to-back stones, yeah. It was Ben's. Well, they thought it was Ben's first and Brett's first.
Could have been.
What they were throwing, not that they were necessarily throwing them in the same order every end.
Benny misses one shot. He's going to switch the order, I got to tell you. He's got to change something because it's not his fault. As a curler, you want to blame yourself last. That's protecting the confidence. That's just smart.
And important as a teammate in those situations. You say, "Oh yeah, we'll get rid of that one.
Absolutely,
no problem." May have played with a few of those teammates myself.
Yeah.
I
don't ever want to tell my skip they're doing something wrong. That's just a bad idea.
We may have moved an inordinate amount of my former skips rocks around to different positions. And in all honesty, joking aside, it's far more important that they're comfortable with what they're throwing than if there is actually something wrong with the stone.
When I used to play with Team Howard, the unwritten rule was if Glenn says anything about "is my rock" and he doesn't like the next word, then it's gone. Yeah. You can't have your skip wondering about the rocks. The job's hard enough. I mean, a couple plumbers in the front end, we can probably hit the free guard zone and hit the rings most times with pretty much anything. Plus, it's a built-in excuse. And Craig and I used to love that.
Yeah, you're going to give me the out? Yeah.
Like, I played 62, but tough rocked.
Glenn, I can't believe you were throwing that in the first place. How'd you get that the other end of the sheet?
Right. Scottish guys love the early plow, and so does Team Medina is the other team that does that a lot, just the hard lean. Wayne Maddock created it, doesn't get any credit, but he was a pressure guy. He always said that. With the hair broom, just make the bristles bend. Looks like you're doing something. That's kind of his theory.
Yeah, nobody believed him. He's been vindicated.
Now everybody's doing it.
Yeah. Should we just name it after Wayne?
Vamida.
Throwing little Wayne on that one in the beginning.
He was always a sweeping, ahead of his time when it came to brushing.
Yeah.
He's calling, can we roll over the top of the field? I hope not.
I hope not. Hope's not a plan. Hope's not a good strategy.
Hope's a bad word in this sport. Although we do it all the time. Like Mr. Hamilton hoping that...
Yeah, you hope the other team misses.
Mark's going to miss.
You don't hope we're throwing the right way. You get to pick that.
Well, I hope I throw this one good because I'm not playing very well. A little cross-house attempt here from Gallant. Playing the intern.
This looks like the wrong weight to me.
It looks a little thin.
Oh, it wasn't.
Just
the
enough.
Wrong weight.
The unnecessary swear jar on that one.
Benny expects him to stick that. That's why he's upset. I'm not playing my team. You got to nut those. Great shot from Brett.
Yeah, mission accomplished there for Gallant, and that's a big shot in that end for getting the blank opportunity.
Still a good chance here, though, for Robin. If he can put one in your dead top button buried around their own guard and force Mark to make a run back, which I don't want to give it to him. It's not a gimme, but probably going to make it, so you want as much separation as possible. I don't even hate this one back button.
I don't see him playing the freeze at any point, regardless of the depth. So does good right to the button. Good shot.
That's pretty much where you'd walk it down to.
And you love getting those free looks, too, as a third. Get to lob one around. Maybe you end up getting a steal opportunity. Maybe you don't, but you just got to draw the button without it having being a high-impact shot.
Just got to be in
Over curl goal, they're playing the chase.
touch pressure in this path.
That was this we thought was fresh though, but
They
same
have
idea.
Benny threw down here, right?
probably
Yeah, it was fresh.
Yeah,
This is going to be a little fresh.
big third, maybe. Not quite half on this side.
I don't think they'll have any trouble. They're talking about being fresh, which generally means you won't have any trouble getting a curl. It's the trick is getting the right weight here.
Saw Mark make this exact same shot in the second end. Digging one out with a hack weight in turn.
Interesting note, Tyler. Yesterday, 2 timeouts from Team Jacobs. They didn't even look at their coach. Now they got 2 coaches on the bench.
I didn't look. Who's the assistant coach now?
Mr. Stoughton is his name.
Oh,
Great
played
curler
a
back
little.
in the 70s.
Yeah.
80s, 90s. I don't know.
Nose inside.
Name rings a bell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
You talk about the old school plumbers at front end. He had maybe the greatest ever, to Steve Gould.
Oh, Stevie, the original Tick Man. I know they give Lisa Weagle credit. No offense, Lisa, but Steve Gould invented that shot like in the 90s.
Steve is in the Hall of Fame of guys you go to war with.
Oh, God.
You just win.
You don't go to war against them, I can tell you that.
I'll take him on my team.
One of the greatest teammates of all time. And yeah, do anything for his team. And a hell of a player. Fun guy to be around.
Kennedy with a little easier look this time after the higher difficulty in turn hack weight hit, which he's making look easy today too.
This one is, yeah, it's curling, as Ben said.
Yeah.
That's not the spot. Right? Ben got you again.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes it...
Holy fuck.
Yeah. One more time, fellas. How many is that?
Good throw. 10-ish.
Well, this is the murderer's row of swear jar. I mean, this is the 27 Yankees.
You can take the boys out of Alberta, but how does the rest go? These guys are pretty comfortable on TV and the stream. And there's different rules on streaming, Ben thinks, or knows. I don't know, maybe he did some research.
Well, in the sports that mom and dad aren't around to scold, kids are going to have more fun, I think.
Agreed. It's nice that, I mean, some people don't like it, and I'm not saying I like it, but I do like the emotion. It's real. That's how you feel.
Yeah, and you do have to remember it's a sporting event, too. These are the best teams in the world playing in an extremely competitive situation.
Love to mic up the NHL players.
Yeah, hear how that goes.
I think they want to be right to it here. I don't think you can afford to go kind of top 4 here.
Now this needs to hit the brakes, so they're trying to turn it over. Does bounce a little bit.
Sneaky good. He can't really afford to play down to that, I don't think, but...
Even if we got to nose and we were laying 2, it leaves him the same shot.
Same freeze, but
that's probably
I think
though.
I think you want him doing it anyways because it's against the 3. It's not a lot of risk.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do? There's no good draw.
Yeah, you're not freezing. That's worse. You definitely want to move that stone.
A draw.
Well, if you're gonna play that, then try to get 3, right?
Yeah, make it expensive for the other team.
Get rid of it fully, right?
I think you can kill this and roll right on top of the red, but it'd probably be best to stay on the nose, stay a little bit open.
13?
13's the weight.
13
bumps it to here. I think that's the weight.
I like that. Don't need to kill it. Just need to move it out of the 8s.
For 1 second. Stay with me for 1 second. Along the shot, are you trying to nose or are we trying to... I just wasn't sure what was best.
I just think that that one is harder.
Yeah, Benny's got it there. I don't think you want to roll. You want to nose it, then the freeze is open. So if he bumps it, you might have a pick.
Right.
Back line of plan.
Little more.
Yep, well thought out, well talked out by Team Jacobs.
So what would be back
That's
12?
the value in a Mark Kennedy on these teams too. Mark very calmly working
I got
out
14 on his, and he was back 8.
all the small details,
13 is through the rings.
giving the Skips confidence in the shot.
That's the one piece of this team that is not new. Mark and Brad, they won 3 slams in a row. It feels like they played a couple years, but it might have just been 1 year.
I believe that was
a couple.
When
Mark Briar too, the pricks.
When Mark came out of retirement, the first event he played was the Canada Cup that year and won it. And I remember texting him like, "You're not doing this retirement thing right. I thought we had an agreement."
Right.
When you just go out and win.
Fry took a leave of absence, and Mark's hip miraculously was better for that Canada Cup.
Incredible how he recovered.
Not enough rest.
Superhuman. He might have gone to Germany for treatment, I think.
Okay, you're good. Good shot.
That's really good by Jacobs.
Perfect.
Actually cleared the stone and rolled in a little bit on that line.
A chance, though, like this is very close to back button.
Yeah, I risk reward, though. I mean,
yeah.
I love it. He makes it.
Choice.
You're probably giving up a steal unless you can get him moving.
Pretty similar throw, mate, just a hair off it.
But playing it against the 3, I think that's worth it. Your worst case scenario is down 1 with playing 4.
Last one was 13-9, so I'm throwing.
And if you can get even a quarter miss, you might have a chance for a 3, which probably wins you the game.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I mean, if you're Ross here and you could walk it down, you'd want to freeze this on kind of 7/8 high. If it overcurls at all, Brad might actually get a blank out of this.
Same line. Hair higher.
The line's great.
But if it's frozen,
Line's good. T-line. Clean.
I don't see Brad scoring.
Curl when you can.
Line's great.
Curl when you can.
Looks like he has to go a little bit.
Get it, T-line.
I need my rock to slide farther. These are 2 of the guys I'd want to get it there.
Get it there. Get it there. Hard.
Really well swept. Great shot.
Not bad. I remember these guys had a competition one time, and I don't know what a stone is. But I think they were a race to 100 stone was their plan. Is that like a kilogram or something? Or is that 100 might not be the number?
We'll say yes.
But, yeah.
Again, I don't think any of the viewers are going to know better. If anybody texts in and says they know what a stone is, fine, but otherwise we'll make something up.
I like it.
I think that's going to be our modus operandi.
I like it.
Just believe what we say unless you know better. And please text us and let us know. And we might not tell what you say. We might just keep it to ourselves. But
so is this going to drag and jam, or is this going to be a blank end here if he hits this? I guess he could pick it clean. That would be awfully fancy.
If it's clean, that would be a shot of the week so far.
It's going to have to sound like a flash to pick it clean, though.
Jacobs trying to hit as thin on this yellow stone as possible. Trying to pick it straight sideways. Very close here. Oh, my goodness. Good morning, Charlottetown.
Not even a reaction from the kid.
My
what a
colleague,
shot.
his arms in the air, but again, no reaction from Jacobs. Picks it clean for 2. Jacobs, 3-1 lead after 3 ends. Fourth end of action here, our feature matchup. Brad Jacobs, maybe the shot of the week so far, hitting just a sliver of that frozen Yellowstone picking it out straight sideways for the Deuce to go up 3-1. Tyler George with Brent Lang. Brent, that's a huge confidence builder for the skipper. Waited to celebrate until well after the shot and then went and got his dap from his boys afterwards, and a nice round of applause from another strong crowd here for the 8:30 a.m. draw.
PEI loves them some curling. I like it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, I guess they're here to support Brett, the Islander of the draw, but yeah, hell of a shot by Brad there.
Maybe they were clapping for Brett's sweep.
It was mostly Brett, I think, there. Yeah. But I don't know what's that? Is that a 1 in 10 shot, I would say? I think you give up a steal probably, well, more often than you...
I'll give Brad 1 in 5, but okay. I think that's pretty
fair.
Generous, too.
That's fair. He's a decent player.
Yeah. But when they're going on all gears, that's... I think, yeah, we'll go 1 in 5. Great call by Mark Kennedy as well.
Sounded a little scared late.
It's close. Always mark right now. Wait's good.
I can't stand what he's doing there, but anyway.
Yeah, that's going to be a topic of discussion in the near future.
Yeah, and maybe I'm just old.
Yeah, well within the rules as of now, so.
As long as your last stroke is away from the rock, it's within the rules. He's clearly sweeping that one to slow it down.
Right.
It just doesn't feel right, but like you said, it's within the rules, so. Sweeping become a super hot topic in the last 8 years. Broomgate 2, Broomgate 3, who knows how many we're going to do. I mean, John Cullen hopes there's another one because he nailed that podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an industry for John now. Anytime something new happens, and we mentioned one of the earlier draws that for about 400 years we never had to worry about sweeping. It was just the same stuff, and now if we're going around and doing clinics or anything like that because we're not playing anymore, first thing I do is text John Landsteiner and say what's going on with sweeping, and he just tells me what Team Dean's doing.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time. So.
Yeah.
I'm going to see the double centers here. A good come around.
Well, the professional curlers that are literally professional curlers, we expect to get that information from them. That's their job. And you pass it on to us.
Line's good. 3, 4. Line's a little tight. Always bend. Bend's rock.
It's fun to watch because there's different things that different teams do. And it just shows that, if we're being honest, we don't know either. And I say we, but it's not we anymore. It's they don't know either.
Yeah.
Good shot, Brett.
Benny Lyon again. That's not where they wanted that. That's too close.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's good. Sorry, a little soft for my first one, Brett. Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. Look at Benny. He's feeling nice. With a 2-point lead. If the score is reversed, Benny doesn't say that. He says, give me some more ice.
Yeah. How's a guy supposed to make a shot with that broom?
I think if you're at that line, I think you're 14 and a half.
Yeah, I'm be close to about 4.5.
It's not a really good spot to hit the red guards to open things up and keep the shooter. If you could roll to a corner, that might be an option. But with the angles the way they are, just playing the come around draw with this 2-point deficit.
He's pretty sure that Duncan can make the double on the guards, but then he's also pretty sure that Brett's going to make that 4-foot run back.
Yep. And then that's the end of the end. Kyle trying to get this to turn.
Good shot.
As you said, Brent, if you'd have any two horses out there to carry a rock or get it to turn over, Bridon and Kyle look to be right towards the top of the pack.
Absolutely. I haven't seen the Italian Stallions yet, but they might be on my list too. You know who's not on my list is the two guys in the booth.
Yeah.
Good guys.
I can make it look. Actually, I don't even think I can make it look.
Can't even fake it anymore.
Yeah. Get the big stuff out of the way is what we used to do, but we bring so much else to the table, though, Brett. The intangibles.
Like to think so.
Yeah, our teams win for a reason. That's what we say. You may look at us and be confused and not be able to figure it out, but we're cagey.
Great line call there.
Yeah, that's really well called.
You hear Mark saying sorry because that turned out pretty good for not a good shot.
And now I think you don't have much option but to move those guards.
Yeah.
Pretty confident misses that.
I think you just make the double run. Don't go for another corner. We're in a good spot now.
We did talk about putting a commentary team together to take these guys on, but we got to shoot really
hard.
good.
It looked a lot like I used to look when I threw the rock.
We're gonna have to shoot really well.
Look, if nobody can make anything, I can compete.
You think we can get Gould out of retirement? So we got one broom.
Stevie, well, last time I saw him at that Skins game in Rama, he almost had a heart attack, so I'm not sure.
He's out. All right.
But we don't count him out.
Okay, yeah, 3/4 side then.
Playing the 3/4, playing the thick double.
We have an open tryouts in the Tier 3 event out in the parking lot after the games this afternoon.
This doesn't look great.
Trying to clear both of these reds and roll over. That's a really good result there.
Good enough.
Nice shot by Duncan.
Probably still a shot. Yeah.
I think that's the call.
Yeah, rolling fucking garters.
Your best shot is make that double. You might roll it here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just make that double.
So, yeah. I mean, I have to hit this low.
3/4, Mark.
I like that response. So, yeah.
I have to hit it low. Yeah, I mean, even if he nuts this, at least it's out of the rings. It won't be a great result, but
Yeah, really the only bad result here is high. They don't want to be a little on the high side. Oh, that's so good.
not bad.
That'll do, Marcus.
Not bad. Could have rolled like another inch, you know, if you're being picky, but
Yeah,
that'll do.
Thought we might see a broom slam there.
11.
Still a chance here, though.
Yeah, close to that, mate.
Really high level stuff right now from Team Jacobs.
I would suggest it's more important to get the yellow, the one you're hitting buried than the shooter. I think they're calling just to roll just buried, but those are going to leave those really close together. I'd roll way wide and try and nut the one on the top 4 foot.
Yep. Yes.
That's tight.
Yep.
Thought.
Oh, wait. Whoa.
It's a lot of weight for this shot.
Where will the shooter end up?
Kind of in between, which is
That's pretty good.
not bad.
Really thin if you're going to try to clear both.
Just wasn't back on this.
Doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
him
Robin,
No, I really like that.
Is that done?
No, it's not.
Okay, so
it's not if you hit it in the right spot.
only other shot is kind of coming through this hole and trying to get the nose. But a tough shot.
It's tough, though.
I'd hate to do that and leave both.
I like the run.
Okay.
You're going to make a hard shot.
Hold you here.
Might as well make the one that's
No
better.
hole.
There's no hole.
Okay, which one am I trying to hit first?
Yeah, you can look at all at the
Close.
other run in too.
It's
The
close.
short one.
Okay.
1 second.
But again, the best possible result and worst are right next to each other with that shot.
Yeah, that's the one I got in my mind. Okay.
3/4, Mark.
Not a lot of risk in this. Like the odds of him missing both of those yellows
Yeah.
is really low with how close they are together and how short this runner is.
And the odds of jamming on the back aren't real high either.
Good, buddy.
I wasn't going to say that. Now he's going to jam it, but, you know.
Now, the
We'll
odds
see.
just went
They
up
went up.
exponentially after that. Kennedy's been hot. See if he can stay hot. Oh boy. Almost. Good result though.
That's fine.
Sorry, guys. Not a
You
great
almost played
slide.
that shot with
Trying to roll really big and make the double.
Brett says he almost played that shot with Hack to get to the exact same spot. Got a good laugh out of Mark.
Room to make a big roll here? I mean, there's...
Easy.
Yeah, you have to.
Can I get close to stuffing here, but
I think that might be throw this a
Main
little
thing is
harder.
I think you're leaving a double regardless, but not sure you have much choice.
Let's make it.
The double becomes important if you do leave a double back to keep the blank alive, but I think if he threw this harder, he could roll kind of the U in Grand Slam of curling, and they would be pretty even. But they're pretty close together.
Sweeping to hold the line.
Gotta stay in the rings.
And doesn't lose the back either. Some force back in play now for Jacobs, or even a soft steal opportunity.
Missed opportunity there. I mean, I know you might leave a double, but you want to make him make the double. Bit of a shootout over on sheet A so far. Team Bryce, Team Schwaller, 4-3 after 3. Trading 3 balls. And we got Team Ramatime, Team Carruthers down 1 without against Team Bruner. And
looking at a pile
break.
too.
Yeah, not in good shape right now. 4th end break, we got Team Schuster. I don't even know who they're playing because their scorecard's not up there.
It's Team Craig.
Team Craig, tied at 3.
Just guess a Scottish team at this point.
That's a good bet. It's desperate times when one of the top topics around the rink is, do we have to guarantee an X number of Canadian teams? Well, not yet, but
that one rolls off, so
interesting choice here.
Do you go for your 2, or you hit the back and dare Brad to draw? I don't think he would. If you throw this, you probably want to throw it to backside of tee. Get a little more distance between the guard and the rock.
Probably more likely he's going to miss that than the runner, but both are highly probable force. I think you want this close to the tee line, but I would lean towards above the tee line. You hope he doesn't absolutely stuff the runner, and if he rolls out, you get the blank. I don't know. It's not a great situation as much as it seems like a chance.
Yeah, it's a fairly short run for Jacobs, no matter how good this is made. I just don't think he's playing the freeze at any point if you do throw it a little deeper and make the run a little longer.
Yeah, and if that's the thought, then yeah, you absolutely want it back 4.
You think he might freeze with a 2-point lead there?
I think if you're back 4, I don't think he has well, he does have a choice. Never mind.
Yeah.
I think he would, but
I was just thinking tee
he's
and
gonna hit the
backside
right.
tee.
You know, last end he needed to hit like an 1/8 of an inch, and he did. So
yeah,
surely he can hit it on the nose.
Almost back 4.
I think I'd want to dare him to play the freeze.
Sure.
Close. Dunk's in. Top button now. Really close.
Sometimes it's nothing more than a feeling, this game.
That's pretty much exactly where I would want to throw that rock.
Okay. Pretty good. You know, I think he came a lot open on the intern side, actually. But this might be the hardest shot you were going to ask him to play.
It actually did come out the other side pretty good. But, I mean, yeah, I think if I could have him throwing this as opposed to the straight run on a top 4 rock, I'm probably happy with this.
Sure.
I expect him to make either one. You know, it's not that you're playing into an expected miss, but... And it does play into a jam, too.
So I got it.
You got to be happy with that one if you're Ross.
Yeah, you can see he can... Well, the one camera makes it look dead buried. The other camera makes it look a little bit open. So I'm looking at the bottom right camera because I want to see a little bit. But the should curl here with the jam is absolutely in play.
Jacobs with the 2-point lead, throwing his final stone of the 4th end. Looking to get this thick enough to not jam on the redstone in the back of the 12-foot.
This will always curl.
It's definitely curling now.
Heavy act. Heavy. Clean. Curl. Curl. Curl.
That's really well managed there. Great sweep, great weight. Back end for Team Jacobs has it rolling right now.
Came to play. Morning players. They say when you get older, you like the morning games. Maybe that's what's happening for the fellas.
And we did remark in the first end of the game that just seemed like that team had some good hop coming out on the ice this morning, and they've had a great rhythm.
What is happening? This is not a shot I'm familiar with. He's playing the blank.
Curl up an inch here.
And he's playing it like he's down by 3 or 4, not by 2. Still 4 ends left in this game, so taking a single down by a point isn't the end of the world, but
steal here is really bad.
Yeah.
I've got a thick half, not 3/4.
Maybe rethinking it from the hack.
I think you got it now.
Okay.
Well, he probably does, but I don't think that's the point.
Don't miss by half an inch tight, though. We're
Yeah.
half an inch wide. Half an inch tight, we can go.
Yeah, you're good.
Breakfast.
You're good as long as you're not a half inch tight. They will play the blank attempt. This is the final stone of the 4th. We'll probably nut it based on our track record so far.
Oh, girl.
Oh. Straight. Yes. No.
Will it get off the paint? Oh, just missed the sweep there. Great attempt. That is a steal for Jacobs. And they lead 4-1 as we go into the 4th end break here in our feature matchup.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
I think we'll try somewhere new. Okay.
Coming out of the break here in our feature matchup, HearingLife Grand Slam Curling Tour Challenge, Charlottetown, PEI, here at the Bell Alliance Center. Tyler George with 3-time world champion Brent Lang. A 4-1 lead for Brad Jacobs over Ross Whyte after 4 ends of play. And Brent, really a difference in this game. Well, 2 differences, I'd say. The ice management by Team Jacobs and the back-end execution by Brad Jacobs and Mark Kennedy.
Yeah, so right into the top of the
Yeah, huge shot by Brad in the third end. A straight pick dead sideways for 2. And then the play of Team Jacobs, maybe forcing Ross into a blank that he threw great, just missed it, and I don't want to say this game's over because it's not, but...
Fuck me, that's a lot, I think.
Pardon, Ben?
Okay, go ahead, Ben.
But,
should be okay. Top 8. You're in some fresh stuff.
Down 3 halfway with 4 ends to go against these guys is it's not a good spot to be, let's be honest.
Wait close. All the way to the 4-foot, Brett. 14-1. Need to curl. Need to curl. Easy, guys.
Ice looks good this morning. I mean, we're seeing lots of precision shots, not a lot of confusion. Yesterday we saw almost nothing but confusion.
Great throw.
Yeah, I think we expect teams like Brad's team to get a better feel for things every game as the tournament progresses. And they have a really good hold on the ice right now. And again, you can tell the difference in the conversation too. These aren't, we don't know what's going on. We're guessing. It's, okay, this line, this is what we expect. This line, this is what we expect. Here's the weight here. And they're very definitive about what they're talking about.
Yeah, yesterday watching, I'm thinking I got to come out of retirement. Today I'm like, no, I made the right choice.
Yeah, we were putting a team together.
I can make like almost half my shots, and that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Very close. Mine's good.
Mine's good. When you sit up here, you just watch and see where the bar is set at.
Exactly.
We know where ours is at. That's not moving very much.
I know when to come into the high jump competition at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's early.
Yeah.
Come on, Brett. Short of the ring. Okay, whoa. Short's okay.
Then he was talking about top 4, top 8, so this is not what he was looking for.
Threw that really good.
They don't like that rock at all.
No, they don't.
I believe you heard the word piggy. So for those unfamiliar, a pig in curling terms is a slow stone. Don't expect to go as far and usually end up being cutters as well over curling. Pig is a general term for both of those things. Two good corners there for Kyle. Going opposite sides as opposed to stacking.
Throwing like
back 12.
Yeah.
It's a shot that Brett probably hasn't played in a while.
Playing the split here, eh?
Yeah.
Love it if you make it.
Just give me a 50%.
That kind of cuts off the corners a little bit too if you can get them both on the rings.
Brett ordering up his sweeping ahead of time here. Give me a 50% plow here. I know exactly how I'm going to throw this.
That speaks to how precise this team is right now too.
That's more than 50% plow.
Trying to hold the line to get both rocks on the paint. Definitely going to tap the one in.
Whoa. Good shot.
Not bad. Not what he had intended, but we continue to see if it's hard early out of your hand for line, it's not going to do what you want it to do. But he had the speed right, and pretty good result. Looks like it might be open enough for that double. Which is good
there.
news. Good news for Team Whyte. Get one buried here. They're probably going to deal with the corner guard, and then I think you'll probably see a freeze in the middle, especially if that double's there.
In-turn come around from Fadgen.
I think it needs to curl.
Should bury just fine. Nice shot.
You see the run and roll here.
We saw Mark Kennedy make this same shot in the first half of the game. Gallant now trying to make the run back and roll to the center.
This will pretty much, this shot here I'm going to say will tell you if Brett can ever play back end, because Mark's making them and he's the third. So.
He set the bar.
Right?
You know where it's at.
Oh, kid's going to be a third.
That's all right. Could have rolled it a little farther.
Didn't roll to bury the one on the 4-foot, so we'll give him 2 out of 4.
That's probably right. 2.5 maybe.
Hometown crowd liked it.
Very nice. Oh, run back, man. That's good. He's a run back, man.
Oh, he loves himself. No lack of confidence on this team, Jacobs.
Yeah, some speaking in the first person with nicknames now.
It shows more than board. It's a peel. That's a little knife, eh? Very nice. Shiv. I just got shivved.
There's nothing we can say that'd be more entertaining than the on-ice commentary here.
Really gotta go.
Duncan doesn't look like he loves this one.
Okay, shot now.
That's a
Nothing
pretty
wrong
good
with that
shot.
result.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Okay, shot. I was thinking that. I think we're running.
Good weight control here, just playing off the inside of this. Knowing it's far less important to kill both stones than it is to get that position under the center and make Jacobs run.
Looks like that back one hung on.
Appears from this angle that that stone is biting in the back, which means it absolutely is off the paint based on our track record today. Kennedy playing the straight run. Made everything else so far. Why stop now?
Good shot, very nice. Great sweep.
And well done once again by Mark. Serious downhill momentum right now for Team Jacobs.
Still a good chance here for two. For Team Whyte, which is what they're after at the moment. I think the best shot's to hit and roll, but the easier shots to come around.
Yeah, you still have 4 stones left in this end, trying to find 2. Draw probably the correct shot at this point.
It's close, Duncan, compared to yours.
Bit of a different path. They threw the corner guard here, so they'll have a good idea. You can ask him, hear him asking Ewan or Duncan, hey, did you throw this path? Somebody put that corner guard there.
Just touch well in this line.
Line, yep.
Wait's good.
Okay, line's gonna just over curl.
Line here from Robin. They come out the other side even.
Shot.
Probably a good piece of that on the outside of the guard.
You just fucking feel it. Well, the pick is control. Hey.
That's what I'm seeing.
So he's seeing a 10.5. Just kind of hit as thick as you can. Yeah, I know.
If you get roll out, it's good.
So we had this side curling a bit a couple ends ago, right?
Hey, Mark.
On
Pretty hard
controls.
to jab.
I know.
I wish you didn't say that before I threw it.
You didn't say it couldn't be done.
Only an idiot could jam this. All right.
You just hit 2
I know it is. I do hear you, Brad. I hear you.
It'd be really hard for you to jam this, Mark.
Get the weight right.
No,
You guys manage it.
You're 10.5, so just control weight enough to make sure you clear the stone, but still get a little bit of finish on it as well. Kennedy playing his in turn.
Clean, yeah. Clean.
Easy, guys.
Yeah. Hard, Brad.
Hard to me.
Hard, Brad. Hard, you got it. Yep. Good. Great sweep.
Nice sweep there by Gallant.
Really putting on a show for your hometown crowd. Very good. Great shot. Good sweep. Good weight. Good sweep.
Oh, just clicking their heels, the boys this morning.
Gallant indeed putting on a show for the hometown crowd. Almost see some smiles out of the boys out there right now.
It's all giggles right now. Game gets easy when you make all your shots.
Those were some fun days. When the team gets rolling.
I remember when my skipping third used to do it. I mean, we never did it as a full team, but still a chance here, though. I mean, I think he picked the wrong weight here. Maybe if this goes across, no, doesn't go across the top. That's a good shot.
That's a very good result, and looks to be shot rock too. Maybe a hole to go through. Maybe get her on the outside as well. The O-Red looks to be pretty much straight buried behind the yellow corner.
Huh? No, I wasn't saying to throw less weight, but Robin's saying there that he's wanting to sweep it the whole time just to make the roll with it touching the wide one.
Seeing like 11.
11, that's exactly what I was thinking.
They do think they have a piece on the outside here, Brent. Didn't really look like it from the overhead or the long shot, but they're pretty confident they can get this on the intern side.
For 11 out here is going to feel like a 10.5 or a 10.
Yeah,
that's great.
A little slower here.
You bet. That's. You like that, Brett?
Yes, I agree.
I don't think it'll ever run straight on them out here. That's the good news. As they say, get the weight right, and you probably have, I would even say 8 or 10 inches room for error on where you throw this thing. Just don't be tight and don't be heavy.
Now they're both confident this is at least a half-second slower on this line, if not more.
Clean! 10.5 right now! Clean!
10.5, exactly what they're looking for.
Well, clean! 11, clean! Yep, for any roll, yep.
They did lose some speed at the end, but
Good shot, Coxie. Great throw, man. Good shot.
really hit the skids in the last 30, 40 feet, but really well done again. These are really good team shots, Brent. Again, this communication is a constant flow back and forth with good information going from back end to front end on every shot, pre-shot and during the shot.
Yeah, since Stoughton got on the bench, they've really started to roll, as far as I can tell.
There may be some correlation here.
I don't want to call him the best coach in the world yet, but so far, signs are indicating.
I mean, we have all the evidence we need at this point. I mean, the results are right there in front of us.
Team's the same.
Yeah.
Making a lot more shots. Got to play the draw here, and I think it's around the... they both suck. I mean... Take a guess. This one seems more natural. A little bit, obviously a chance of a jam if you get it back. I think you want this one maybe back 8. I think you want him drawing now.
Yeah, 3-point lead. I mean, you're happy with Jacobs having to throw the freeze, and they've been making every hit, every run as it is anyways, so give them something different.
Yeah, they're hitting all the fastballs. Let's see if they can hit a curveball here.
Out turn side for Ross Whyte.
14 up in this line close.
I'll be looking for, as Brent said, right to the back of the 8 foot. Get some distance between the guard and the counter. Take the run back out of play.
If it gets close to the guard, they can almost get it over that one buried, as silly as that looks.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely overbearing a little bit. Is better.
Ross hasn't really missed a shot yet in terms of he's been absolutely dead on close with everything.
Yeah, as much as we've talked about how well Team Jacobs is playing, it's just not leaving Team Whyte much opportunity, and Ross hasn't played poorly by any means.
Just didn't really get that one on the right line.
And Brad immediately puts the broom down for the freeze.
We're off to the right here a little bit, and from my angle, that chase looks pretty easy, but I guess it's buried.
Yeah, you can definitely get there, but I think Brad thinks he's got a little more margin for error with the freeze, because it doesn't have to be made perfectly. But yeah, there was no hesitation on that call.
Didn't even look at the chase.
Just wants to prove a point.
Maybe he hears us.
Yeah.
I can hit the curveball.
Yeah, what do you think of
that
this?
Idiot in the booth.
Yeah. Why I'm down here and you're up there, fellas. Jacobs playing the freeze, trying to eliminate any opportunity for 2 for Team Whyte. Out turn side. Just saw this path from Ross. A little tighter line for Brad, but I think a little more rotation too.
I think line's a problem. Got to get it there. Don't want to leave him the chase chip across the top.
They're really trying to carry it now. Great sweep to get it to where they did. A little space between those 2 stones. know that there's room to chip it over the top, so can they get to the inside? That got by the guard pretty easily.
This is one of those, yeah, is this easier inside or chip across the top? And the answer is neither. He originally called chip it over the top, but I don't even think that's possible.
It's so thin. It's a good chance.
You're never holding the shooter if it goes across the top. Like, that's thinner than a quarter.
You can miss the yellow, but the shooter's not sticking around if you're pushing it far enough.
No way.
No way.
They've got enough room. More than enough room.
What have we got on the inside?
You probably hit like a thin half.
Thin half.
Well, they don't think they can get to enough of it on the inside for two, looks like.
You've got enough to make it like.
There's a
And
good
with
angle.
that overhead, yeah, it
It looks terrible.
doesn't look good anyway.
You're good easy to get it.
I think you've got a long way to get a third. And I think you're a thin half to make it, so.
Seeing that?
Playing the long double here, and this is just knowing your opponent, knowing that down two without the hammer playing the sixth is just kind of a death by 1,000 cuts. You might be able to get it to 8, but chances of winning.
Yeah, your percentage chances, you're looking at what's the percent chance of making this shot and what percent chance that would give us of winning the game versus the draw that you're very likely making, but does it improve your chances of winning the game enough if you take the single point? They don't believe it does, so.
I would agree with them. I don't know the math.
Yeah,
it should be shocking to everybody listening.
You're
But,
looking at the caliber of opponent as much as anything else. And the way they're playing right now, too. This isn't a rock fight where you figure you could get that 3 later in the game.
And you want to switch the momentum here, too, and this would spark them, I think. And, I mean, a miss here. And
Clean.
it's too early for Miller time, but it's coffee time.
So out-turn cross-house double, trying to come off the inside of this stone for 2.
Clean.
Oh, look at that.
Is that any good?
That's a good try.
Holy moly.
That will be 2. And Brent and I have re-retired once again.
We're right where we need to be.
And that cuts the deficit to 1 after 5 ends of play. 4-3, Jacobs leads with hammer going to the 6th.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Joining the 6th end of play, already in action after a fantastic crosshouse double by Ross Whyte. 4-2 in the 5th, now only trailing 4-3. 6th end to Brad Jacobs. Jacobs with hammer and the 1-point lead, but Brent, absolutely a game saver there by Ross. We talked about the percentages of
Look like it's going to be like back button.
make, miss, and win, lose. We agree with the shot call, and if you're going to make it like that, then just nut it every time. Why not?
That was not as easy as they made it look. You know, had to get super tight to the guard. It played a little lighter. I don't know if it was out to make it harder. It had to curl by the guard maybe, but
yeah, I don't think they cleared the guard by more than an inch
did
anyways.
not. So giving themselves a chance. Still an uphill climb here for Team Whyte, but that's, I mean, missed there, and they're just kind of going through the motions to get a couple more ends in, but now we got a game on our hands, which is kind of fitting because, as we said, Team Whyte's playing quite well, but Team Jacobs, especially Mark and Brad, and the hometown hero, I guess, Brad hasn't missed much either.
Well, he told us.
He said it.
Yeah.
What do you call himself? Run back king, run back killer, run back something.
Something really good at run backs. Run back man.
Something like that, yeah.
I think that's what it was.
If you're going to give yourself a nickname, it's got to be cooler than that.
The Islander himself, Brett Gallant. His squad with this 1-point lead.
Can we get straight peel the high one, or you want to give that a rip?
Whatever he calls.
The run back king's got to give the run back a rip. You can't call yourself that if you're not going to play it. But it's an opportunity here. Duncan locks this on. It's a little mistake. I mean, you could be real close on that double keel and have an absolute disaster. We need a break here for Team Whyte.
And placement here really important now. Locks it on. Well done.
So something really close here but not quite good would be really good for Whyte. I mean, you could almost leave both guards and run it in and nut it in the forefoot.
Yeah. So the run back man, Brett Gallant, looking to get both of these yellows moving. Just wants to be a hair on the high side to miss the back two. No. That nickname's gone. Oh, you're done.
That was your chance to solidify it.
You had it for 2 ends.
Yeah,
moniker's dead.
That's like a veteran second, though. That's what you do. Make sure you hit it on the right side.
And you mentioned too, Brent, before that final shot.